Hi, so today I'm going to be showing you how I painted this postcard. Hi, my name is Escobar. I'm a storyboard artist from the Simpsons television show. I've been working on the show for over 25 years now, and I'm here to empower you. So today I'm going to show you how I painted this postcard over here. And this time around it is a little bit different, in part because the postcard it's actually pretty short. It didn't take me too long to do it because I kind of solved the problem that I had trying to do luminescent type drawings or paintings. So I think I kind of understand what I'm supposed to be doing now, which is really neat, and I'm glad about it. Another thing that was different here this time around is that I usually have this desk, this computer desk that I tend to use when I'm working, and that's where I've had the paintings propped up when I paint. The problem was that I had like a tripod here, and I had my mic here, and then the tripod had the camera, and then the thing was up here like this, and it had to be propped up this way so that the camera could see it, and then the tripod was right here in front of me like this, and I had to paint around the tripod like, so a while back it was my birthday, and one of the things that I was asking for was like anything to help me with this kind of situation where I want to record me doing something. And my parents bought me this like little stand here where I could put the camera up here, and let me pull it out so that you can see it a little bit better. Let me see if I can. Well, it doesn't want to come out. Oh, here it is. So it's just an arm. It's just that's it. So, and then I put the camera up here, and then it just hangs down, and then it shows the table. And I have a really kind of a crummy table, or rather a board here on that I use. And so that's how I did it. And so it's a different setup. The only difference now is that the lighting needed to be just right. And so in the video, you could kind of see a little bit more of the setup, but that was the biggest difference. And it makes the big difference too, because it gives me space to like paint here, and so I could talk and I could paint. But of course, it used to be that the water would drain down. Now it has the potential of draining up, like because the paper slightly slanted this way a little bit, so it might drain up. So it was a new experience. So it's the first time that I've used that. I also, in the video, I talk about values and the values of color and how they connect, and I explain what I'm talking about when I talk about values and etc. So okay, so without any further ado, here's the video. All right, so let's get started. So I've got my arm set up here. This is going to be a little bit different. Let's see how it goes. So I'm going to be using this flat brush here. I'm going to be using this watercolor, this water brush that has water in it, but what I tend to do is I dip it into my little water bottle. I'm going to try to avoid having my shadow cover too much, but I don't know how well that's going to help. Okay, and again, the idea here is I'm going to try to go for luminosity. Oh, sorry about that. Here's my mic. This is my mic is right here. Try not to make too much noise here. So I'm going for luminosity. That means that the light's going to come over here, and I'm going to try to make it fade. The reference that I'm using doesn't have that. So I'm going to be inventing that element to it. It doesn't have that kind of a glow that I'm going to want to do. I'm only using the reference I'm using is only a bouncing off point for my imaginative painting. So I even went so far as to make the face look very, very different from the reference I'm using, and I'm only using the lighting from the reference. So one of the things that I discovered last time, and I've been looking at like light bulbs, like just light bulbs and candles. One of the things that I discovered, and lightsabers and neon signs, is that there's a transition between white, the white area where the glow is coming from, and then there is an extremely saturated outline around where the glow stops, and it's extremely saturated, and then it fades away. So having known, and that's what worked last time in the last painting, was to actually have an area where the light saturated, and then and right as it touched the figure, and that was what I was afraid of last time. So this time around, I am going to do it on purpose. You can barely see the pencil line. I tried really hard to get rid of it so that it wouldn't show up after I painted. So I'm wetting everything all the way around here, so that hopefully I can have that transition happen. And I won't do it here. Okay. Let's see what happens. Hopefully I'll get it right. Okay, I'm going to try doing, as I have in the last couple of days, just a yellow. The reason why yellow is because it's a really bright color. Bright. That was a very loud thing. Bright as in it's almost brighter than white. So now that's the brightness here. That's the most saturated area, is right at the edge. So that's what's going to glow, hopefully. And then everything else that I'm doing from this point on is going to be in service of that. So I'm going to just put yellow in any place that I'm going to put shadow. Yellow right at this very second is going to take the place of my shadow area. And then I will darken it as I go. I need to decide at this point how dark the dark will be. I'm not sure yet. And especially around the areas where I would consider it being bright. Or glowing. Eventually that's going to become mid-tone, so I'll just kind of fake a little bit of mid-tone in here. I've been doing a lot of pencil drawing shading, and trying to teach myself to control mid-tone, which is one of my weaknesses. Okay, now that I've got that glow area, or what I believe will be the glow area, I'm going to try to transition from this glow area into the dark area. And how do I do that? I don't know. I will pick purple or something like purple. Oh no, I got purple here. Not a lot of it though, I'm running out. So I was hoping that this purple would bleed into the yellow more, but it doesn't. It's not. It's kind of disappointing. Trying to make sure that the purple doesn't go to the yellow. And I think that's not happening. I'm gonna get this rag in here, get rid of that. It really needs to. Maybe I didn't put enough water, maybe? I don't know. But this needs to transition and not have a line. Okay, so that's kind of what I want. Okay, and then it's time to start darkening up the area here. Just to make her face pop, because I got it yellow, but it needs to pop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out of this flat brush, and I'm going to start using this one. And just like I have been doing, I'm going to get the this yellow here, this kind of like a yellow umber type, and I'm going to use that as my next level of shadow. It's a little darker, much darker. It's a warmer yellow, I think. I mean a cooler yellow. And the idea here is that it's still yellow, so it's still a bright. But it is slightly darker. It's a slightly more it's a darker midtone. So the what's the word? The key value, the light key is still fairly bright. Like the idea being that this area is so bright in light that even the shadows glow. That's the idea. And then that mixes with this. So all of this stuff that I'm doing is still all just experimental on my part. I'm still not 100% sure how well any of this stuff is going to work. Oh boy, that's didn't mean to make it that sloppy there. It's okay. Just soften this edge. Soften a lot of these edges here. And up here, maybe that. Okay. And then I think maybe here, like this. Do I want to do that? Get a little bit of that in here, like this kind of a cooler yellow, and then do the highlight. With it. Just add that glow. So I want this to be working the way it is. I got to soften this up. So this side is where I want the least amount. I want the gradation to go. And then this side I want to be a little bit more, a little bit darker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an orange, and then I'm going to go into more blue in here. And I think that will be it. So I need this to be darker for sure. See, right there is where I need it to be dark. See, so this orange is a little. The value of orange is darker than the yellow, than all the yellow. So there are charts online where, and this was like a big question I had when I'm learning about color and learning to paint, and that is, what is the value? And by value, I don't mean its worth. I mean, when I say value, I mean, what is the value in terms of black and white, in the grayscale value? What is the grayscale value of orange, yellow, blue, red. Because ultimately what we're doing is we're working only in grayscale. And values, and color has a grayscale value. And if you get the grayscale value wrong of a color, no matter where you put it into your painting, it'll look weird. It won't give you the right. It won't be dark enough. It won't be light enough, etc. So you want to learn that secret sauce. You want to learn what those values are. And there are online charts that kind of answer the question. And definitely yellow, no matter how saturated the yellow is, it's one of the lightest of all the values. It gives you the least amount. So even at its brightest, yellow is not gonna go beyond a certain value. In the grayscale. So you could be kind of safe using yellow. Which is why I'm using yellow. Otherwise, it'd be a little bit more difficult for me to control. Maybe later, as I get more and more control and learn more and more control, I could try to use a different color and see if I can control that value. I'm not sure if I could though. So I put the purple, blue here and here. And I think that's it. Like I think I've gotten what I want out of this. I mean, it's this time around it wasn't that much as difficult as the last couple. Because I kind of knew going in what I wanted, what approach I was going to take, what I was going to do. I think maybe I could probably do one more layer. Of this yellow. Like I said, no matter how dark it gets, it's not going to be, it's not going to go beyond a certain value. Ooh, I overdid that. It's way too wet. These lips need to be more defined, I think. I'm gonna put some here like that. And maybe, I think, I want to add a little bit more. Oops, I dropped my brush. I think I'm going to put some dark over here. On the edges. Now I'm painting on my... So blue is especially ultramarine blue and French blue are very dark in the value scale. This eye is extremely, it's got a big puddle. I'm gonna wipe out my brush here on this rag. So this is got a puddle here. I'm gonna use this puddle kind of move the paint around. I'm going to wet here and I'm going to soften this edge. There's a hair. Soften this edge. And I'm going to harden. I'm going to try to add a hard edge here by not being too wet. I'm going to get one of my bright yellow, and I'm going to put yellow in here. And here. And I'm going to use the yellow as a mid-tone. Because no matter how saturated this yellow gets, it's not going to be any more, it's not going to add any more value. Than it can. It's got a limited amount of value that it can give. So I could absolutely use it as a mid-tone. Okay. So in pencil terms, the yellow would be like we're using a very hard pencil, like an H8 or some crazy amount of hardness pencil that just, no matter how hard you press down, it's not going to get any darker. that's it. I think that's it. I kind of don't like how hard this edge is here. This is supposed to be a transition, but oh well. Yeah, I like it. It's got the luminous idea that I wanted to get. Like I said, the actual reference I'm using is nowhere near this luminous. It's and again and the woman in the reference doesn't look like this even. Okay, great. I am done. Well, I hope you liked it, and this is the first time I've done this setup the way it is. I kind of left a streak here on my table here, but or my board. It's just a big wooden piece of board that's got all kinds of marks in it because I used to use it to do marker coloring and stuff like that. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. This is kind of like just my process, and I hope that you like the new setup. I think hopefully moving forward it's going to work better than the last one, which was much more difficult. I had so much stuff in the way that it was more difficult to paint because I had like a tripod right between me and the actual painting. But not anymore. I got plenty of space in front of me, and I don't have to worry about hitting the microphone or anything. So, all right. So thanks so much for watching. Thank you for your support. And I will talk to you next time. All right. Bye.